With this one, I want to move to the next questions. It's also coming from Trump. What is the strongest and the weakness of ABM strategy, and what type of companies are using ABM successfully?
Actually, the part two of the question I am clear. I can answer, but I am not clear about this. What are the strongest and weakest of ABM strategy? Means uh, the components of strongest and weakest ABM
I
strategy.
I think what she mean this one. What are the strength and weakness
Yeah.
of the ABM? So what are
Okay.
the pros and cons,
Okay. Okay.
and what type of companies are
Yeah.
successfully using ABM?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, John. So I'll answer this now. See, the strength of ABM effort is that when you are trying to create a sustainable business model, then this model fits perfectly. Like when you focus on the LTV, then this is a to go model, because if you are not into
Rajneesh,
transactional revenue.
Rajneesh,
Yeah.
just to help you, please, LTV, please use the full word because
Okay.
many of the people doesn't know those jargons.
Okay. Sure. So okay, so I will, if the focus of any organization is on the transactional revenue, that means one off. Okay, somebody, we sold a service or a product and then forget. We don't bother much about nurturing that account in terms of creating a longer lifetime value from that account. Okay, LTV. So in that case, ABM is not the way to go. In that case, inbound kind of a marketing works well. So the strength of this ABM is that it helps you create for uh, any longer relationship with any prospect. Number one, it is a most stable solution because you eliminate competition. Because this is the beauty of this model, that you eliminate competition absolutely out of your funnel. So because you are focusing on an account, and you are doing everything for that account. You are studying, you are tailor making your campaign, you are tailor making your communication. So generally this is a very patience driven approach. So you kind of eliminate competition. So this is another advantage. This is another pro. Third one is that you have get a larger lifetime value from the accounts where you penetrate. Okay, so this is third advantage. The only disadvantage which I see of this strategy is that it results into a longer sales cycle. Okay, and for small ticket items, like $10, $15, $100 kind of a services, if somebody is trying to sell, then maybe this is not the right model to go there. It works better on a slightly higher revenue potential kind of a thing. So this is the one con, that you cannot massify it. It is a niche kind of a approach. This is not a mass approach. So if you want to target mass, then ABM is not the way to go. And what kind of organizations are using ABM successfully? I don't remember any major B2B company in the world currently which is not using. So it is much easier for me to answer that what kind of uh, leading B2B SaaS providers like Salesforce, all these, everybody is into ABM. So though there will be very few companies, I cannot even remember, which is not using this approach as of now. Okay. So there may be companies which rely massively onto a transactional revenue, like you go and buy a lifetime license at the rate of $10. Software companies like that, they may not be using it, but most of the organizations which have got a decent product portfolio, they are using. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajneesh. So with this one, let's move to the next question. So, what are the common obstacles when I practice ABM, and how can I overcome them? And how can I keep my sales pipeline full on ABM method?
Okay. So yeah, that's a wonderful question, Masud. Thank you. So the common, there are two. That's why I was emphasizing both the approach. So I will answer the second part of your question first. Okay, how can I keep my sales pipeline full on ABM method? So ABM method in standalone, you apply when you have got an enterprise level product, very high value. Then in isolation it can be applied. But if you have got a mix kind of a product portfolio where you have got low ticket items also and high ticket items also, when you have got a bouquet of products, then ABM has to be applied in parallelly with the inbound kind of an approach, or a mass and a niche kind of a combination. So if you do like that, then your sales pipeline will always be full, because ABM approach follows a larger sales cycle, longer sales cycle. So there will be, gaps in terms of the closers maybe, or initial gaps maybe. But if you are following another mass approach also along with that, so that will keep your pipeline full always. Now moving to the first part of your question, the most common obstacle is that lack of patience. If there is a lack of patience in terms of the, there could be pressures, there, if there is a revenue pressure in terms of, lagging on the targets, the financial year is going to close, and the organization or is lagging much on the sales revenue targets. In that scenario, this is a bad practice, that will create obstacle, because it takes some time to build. So the patience is the first. If there is a lack of patience, it is the biggest obstacle in terms of account based marketing. Second is that data driven approach. If you are not very data driven as an organization, as a professional, then this is the second. You don't have enough data in terms of your long listing, short listing, classifying, and then contact listing, all those things. So the lack of data is another obstacle in terms of this. Then third is lack of manpower, because in this you have to follow a account based approach, so once you have done a long listing, you have done a short listing, then you have to go after these accounts, by tailor making your communication, tailor making your, customizing your approach, everything. So it is a little manpower intensive, I would say. So you need to have an optimum level of manpower on board. If you are running short on the manpower in terms of, in your sales team, then then you have to limit your approach. Then you may not be following, an optimal set of accounts to generate a healthy pipeline and healthy closer of revenues. Then because you have got two manpower, then you cannot be targeting 100 accounts with these things. So I can see three things: lack of patience, lack of data, and lack of human resources to run this, ABM campaign end to end. So these three obstacles I see normally. Yeah. Thank you.
How can we overcome this three obstacle, Ranjit, or how did you
Okay.
overcome so far?
Okay. So overcoming is that, see, the data, lack of data can be overcome, because if suppose I am trying to launch a product in Vietnam, so I need to, target audience. I need to understand that, okay, what is the total available market for me? Okay. So suppose I'm selling a software which is addressing some solution to, to the manufacturing or the freight forwarding companies. So first thing, how do I collect the data? I need to go on the internet, be member of various association, buy the directories, YOLO pages, all these things. So the data constraints can be overcome very easily by using technology. Second, patience. So patience, okay. So one is, if we are as an organization, we don't have patience to wait for the results to show in the ABM model, then please mix in the inbound strategy as well. Okay, so keep a combination of ABM and inbound, so that you overcome that obstacle in terms of the time taken to convert into revenue of the efforts. Okay, and the third thing is that manpower, human resources. Then you limit your, initially you have to limit your, approach. then you get into SOM. Okay, so TAM, SAM, total addressable market, serviceable addressable market, then serviceable obtainable market. Okay, so you limit your scope. That okay, these 100 accounts are SAM, part of SAM or part of my shortlisting. This is part of my serviceable addressable market. But since I have limited resources, so I will move to a serviceable obtainable market. So I have two resources, so I will map them to 20 accounts, for example. So I convert my SAM into SOM, SOM. Okay, so this is one way of but overcoming these difficulties, obstacles. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajneesh.